In this package, Governor Udom Emmanuel to flag off urban renewal and remodeling projects in Eka. Ministry of Women Affairs tech campaign against child abuse and trafficking to 8 federal constituencies in the state. 2016 budget estimates defense by ministries, departments and agencies to be concluded this week. We have details of these in on the stories. Good morning to you and thank you for joining us. We hope you had a good night's rest. Welcome to the news. The State Executive Council rose from its meeting yesterday with a decision to develop some major economic nerve centers in the state, as well as undertake the training of 329 youths drawn from different wards of the state on photography, film production and editing. These decisions were made known to the press by the Commissioner for Information, Mr. Anyeka Rumana, at the Government House Uyo after the State Executive Council meeting. Our Government House Bureau Chief Colonel Edemefreti reports that the Commissioner for Works, Mr. Ephraim Yangayen, who was at the briefing, highlighted on roads to be constructed by the state government.
Mr. Anyeka Rumana said the meeting, presided over by Governor Udom Emmanuel, had, in line with the administration's infrastructure expansion and development, as well as giving of facelift to some major economic nerve centers in the state, approved the construction of major roads with runabouts in Eket, construction of roads in Barenin and in Oron Oban.
The construction and remodeling of selected roads and strategic runabouts and junctions in Eket Township, and also the emergency works and intervention in Oron Oban. Other key initiatives looked at by Council today includes job creation through youth training and empowerment in photography, videography, editing and film production. Under the scheme, Council approved that 329 youths with passion for photography and film production we engaged from all the wards in Akwa Ibom State and trained in these areas and equipped with tools that will make them work for themselves.
The Commissioner for Information informed that the State Executive Council also considered training of youth ambassadors and the establishment of Sports Development Center in each of the 10 federal constituencies of the state. Other decisions taken included the upgrading of infrastructure at the Low Meridian hotels to meet the growing need following the growth of visitors and tourists to the state, while all hoteliers in the state are to be encouraged to sanitize their hotel and their environs to meet global best sanitation practice standard. Mr. Rumana said that Governor Udom Emmanuel has directed all council areas to be involved in the Saturday 29th August state sanitation exercise, adding that the governor is to personally inspect the exercise in some parts of the state to ensure its success.
It's not just going to be a normal sanitation, it's going to be a sanitation program that involves everybody at every level. The governor in council himself directed that he will be the starting point. He will flag off the sanitation program and will personally move around to see how the program is going on in various parts of the state.
The Commissioner for Works, Mr. Ephraim Yangayen, gave details of the road constructions.
There was consideration for a 3.5 kilometer road in Ikorudum in Igwe local government. We also took consideration of a road in Mpareni. There's also a road that is leading in Ona local government between Bok and Okari. It's a 5 kilometer road leading to the beach.
Colonel Edemefreti reporting.
The state governor, Mr. Udom Emmanuel, is to flag off the urban renewal and remodeling projects in Eket today. The Commissioner for Works, Mr. Ephraim Yangayen, who made this known while addressing the press, said the ceremony will start at noon. Colonel Edemefreti again reports.
Mr. Ephraim Yangayen said the construction projects to be flagged off by Governor Udom Emmanuel will be in 2 phases, a completion of which will make Eket a model city.
The phase 1 would deal with beautifying from Akadong, dualizing the road through Hospital Road, through Oron Road, through Grace Beer, with fountains at 2 locations. The second phase will involve the channelization of water from Atabon through Ikedoron Road, through Graceville, up to Marina. And on Thursday, the 2 roads of Ikorudom in Ibiolo and the one in Pareni will be flagged off. Between 12, one will be 12, that is Ikorudom, the other one will be 3 p.m., that is the one in Pareni by His Excellency the Governor of Akwa Ibom State.
He stressed that road constructions by the administration will be based on economic need rather than on political patronage. Colonel Edem Efreti reporting.
The sensitization campaign against child abuse, child trafficking, child labor and abandonment, as well as baby sale by the Ministry of Women Affairs has taken the team to Ikorabasi, Oron, Itinan, Itu, Ibionibum, Uyo, Kanafon, and Abak federal constituencies. Itino Iban reports that the team is headed by the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Dr. Gloria Edet. The story is here presented in the studios.
Oranam Federal Constituency stakeholders gathered at Okanafon Local Government Council Hall, Ikorakwan Cook, while Abak Local Government Council Hall was a venue for people from Abak, Itimepo and Ika local government areas. Taking the campaign to the federal constituencies, the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Dr. Gloria Edet, called on stakeholders to work as a team to protect children from anything that will militate against their safety, survival and rights. Dr. Edet said the sensitization was aimed at ensuring that every child enjoys fundamental human rights as enshrined in the Constitution of Nigeria and Akwa Ibom State Child Rights Law 2008. The Commissioner explained that it is the obligation of the government to improve the welfare of children and protect their rights to survival and development, freedom of association, parental care, protection and maintenance, amongst others. She said the state government has 5 homes, 4 of which harbor over 500 children who are orphans and vulnerable, provides health services both within and outside the country, pays school fees for those in higher institutions as part of the implementing strategies of the Child Rights Law.
The Child Rights Law, which has been domesticated since 2008 as a legal instrument, which provides us with laws for enforcement against anyone who abuses a child, abandons, rapes, perpetrates child labor or child trafficking.
In each federal constituency, resource persons presented on the rights and responsibilities of a child and the effects of child abuse. Stakeholders from Okanafon, Oroganam and Abak federal constituencies, including paramount rulers, transition committee chairmen, elders, women and the Commissioner for Information and Communication, Mr. Aneka Numana, applauded the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Welfare for hosting the sensitization campaign.
Parental care and love. Be interested in your child.
As our people become aware of their responsibilities as stakeholders in the enforcement of the Child Rights Law through this 10th edition, I am convinced that the objective of this government in enacting the law will be realized.
The girls are quite unlike what was available in the days of old, are veritable instruments of development in today's world.
Highlights of the campaign were drama by women condemning baby sales, interactions, presentation of almanac, handbooks on child rights law, and almanac to communities.
The 2016 budget estimates hearing has entered its 3rd week, with more ministries, departments and agencies defending their estimates at the budget office. Here in Opon reported that the hearing is scheduled to end this week.
In of week 3 in the ongoing 2016 budget estimates defense, Already ministries, departments and parastatals are seated to defend their estimates.
Ministries and agencies that appeared before the 2016 Budget Estimates Hearing Committee in the beginning of the week were Ministries of Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Education and that of Health. Others were State Agency for the Control of AIDS, Akwa Ibom Property and Investment Company, Local Government Pension Board, Ministry of Youth and Sports, as well as Ministry of Environment. The committee, headed by the Permanent Secretary, State Budget Office, Pastor Nicholas Ekarika, checked the recurrent expenditure, revenue generation, staff strength, capturing of newly recruited and posted staff, and the last payment certificates. Some inadequacies arose in some ministries where professionals posted to such ministries are not allowed to display their skills. The committee frowned at such situation and directed that when staff are posted to any ministry, he or she has the right to perform his functions.
I want to say that let us rest all these things that is going on and so on, so that we can allow the civil service to flow the way it's supposed to.
Some ministries during the defense had inconclusive reports. Some were asked to play down on manpower demand, while others were asked to step up revenue generation. For the Ministry of Environment, the committee advised that more forests should be gazetted, citing Osaka and Oborokara Forest to boost their revenue. The Ministry of Youth and Sports, Akwa Ibom Sports Council, Akwa Ibom Starlet, Ibom Angels all appeared for the hearing. The Local Government Pension Board informed the committee that gratuity arrears up to 2011 have been claimed and sued for approval of funds in next year's budget for the smooth takeoff of the board. Pastor Karika said all the data in estimates will be collated, but enjoined the remaining ministries to come for the defense, as this is the final week allocated to them.
So we've been looking at social sector. It's been wonderful. Ministry have responded. They are prepared to break ground in terms of revenue, and we have assurance from the operators of this ministry that they are going to perform better. And I know for sure that before the week runs out, we'll have called it a quit for these wonderful sessions.
Some of the committee members talked on their encounter during the week.
So far, it's been splendid. MDAs have actually responded positively, and by their presentation, they have done perfect work.
Yes, the session has been very interactive enough. The ministries have responded
So far so good for the ministries that have come, and we are very impressed with what they have presented to us. So we are very impressed.
The defense in the beginning of week 3 gave an insight on measures the ministries will use to generate revenue, which is the key point in 2016 budget.
We are thinking of generating revenue for 2016. So what we've projected has been adopted by budget department. So it's going to.
So we are generating money from stadium hire and get takings. Other than that, youth registration of youth clubs also generate revenue for the government.
The hearing is becoming more interesting, but tasking to the committee as ministries, agencies and departments are trying to beat the deadline this week. From the State Budget Office, Iyagino Paul reporting.
All contractors handling 2011-2012 UBE projects in the state are invited to a sensitization meeting with the State Universal Basic Education Board. Contractors handling work in Eket Senatorial District will meet with the board on Wednesday, 26 August 2015. Contractors handling work in Akwa Ibom Senatorial District will take their turn on Thursday, 27th August 2015. While contractors handling work in Uyo Senatorial District will meet with the board on Friday, 28th August 2015. All the meetings will take place at the conference hall, Subeb headquarters, Idon Senkaya Secretariat, by 12 noon each day. We now take a break. We'll be back with more reports. Please join us again.
It's up to us, all of us. The safety of our communities is in our hands. The police need our help and support. Boko Haram threatens our lives, our future, our country. But Nigeria belongs to us. God has blessed us with this rich land. Let us protect her as we protect each other. Report any criminal activity. Call these numbers. Your call is anonymous, and it is vitally important. Your support so far has been critical. Continuing it will make all the difference between a Nigeria of the fearful and a Nigeria of the free. Protect each other, for we are not terrorists. We are Nigerians. A message from the State Security Service.
Thank you for your time this morning. And ahead on the bulletin, Mount Zion Lighthouse Full Gospel Church has held its Women Rally. The rally, which had its theme, A Wise Woman, took place at the church premises, number 5 Osanga Pan Street, Uyo. Ebuka Okafo was at the rally, and the report is here presented in our studios.
The women group Deaconess Immaculate Zion stressed the role of women in the society and urged them to love one another. She encouraged them to be upright in their dealings with people and preach peace in their homes.
Be wise in the Lord. Be wise always. Show understanding. You know, people say they can't watch this over there.
In his homily, the minister in charge, Apostle Johnson Udo, noted that women are not inferior just because they are a helper to a man. He emphasized on the need for women to be seen as the foundation on which a pillar stands if men are to be seen as pillars of the church. Apostle Udo urged women to be more committed to the service of God.
When God created mankind, He created both male and female. The man was created before the woman. Because the man needed companionship and a helper, God caused the woman or the man to sleep. From him, He created a woman, a helper, comparable to him.
The event featured choir rendition and gospel ministration. Prayers were offered by the women in thanksgiving to God and His blessings upon their lives and that of their families.
The Nigerian Guild of Editors has concluded arrangements to hold its annual All Nigeria Editors Conference, ANEC, in Yenagoa, the Bayelsa capital. The opening ceremony of the conference with the theme Nigeria, the change we need, the role of the editor, will take place on 27th August 2015 at the Banquet Hall, Government House, Yenagoa. The chairman of ANEC 2015 is veteran broadcaster and Chief Executive Officer of Channels Television, Mr. John Momo, while the special guest of honor is the Vice President of Nigeria, Professor Yemi Oshimbayo, with the Governor of Bayelsa State, Siriaka Dixon, as Chief Host. More than 300 editors of various media houses from across the country are expected to attend the event. After 2 weeks of jumps, throws and runs training by national coaches, the second AKS NNPC MPN holiday camping and training program comes to an end this Saturday. The closing ceremony, which starts at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, will feature competitions in the 100, 200, 400, 4x100, 4x400, 800 and 1,500 meters races. Other events to be competed for are the javelin, discus, shot put, long and high jumps for the boys and girls. Speaking with journalists, you're the organizer of the holiday camping, Ms. Paul Bassey, says the competitions were put in place for the athletes to exhibit what they have been taught by the team of national coaches in the past 2 weeks. Some of the coaches who conducted the training program include Professor Ogunjimi Amelia Edet for sprints, Solomon Agbari Nuhu Stephen for long distance, Ken Onua Guluchi for throws, George Abadomi for 200 and 400 meters, and Daniel Esebimino also for sprints. Others include Uterofon Kanta, Daniel Moite, Ubong Isaac, Peter Ekudo, and Wisdom Benjamin. Mr. Bassey therefore invited parents, guardians, teachers, games masters, sports lovers, and the general public who have never had a chance of watching live races on Totten tracks to come out to the Godswill Akwabi International Stadium on Saturday, the 29th of this month, to witness the class of talents that abound in the state. The CAF FIFA committee member who has organized these games for 15 years now invited the coaches and members of the Akwa State Sports Council to come out to learn the current trends in athletics before the closing rate. Mr. Bassey said that those also expected to cheer the children who have been divided into teams AKSG, NNPC, MPN, and Paul B to excellence include the Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Mr. Sunday Uko, the Permanent Secretary, Mr. Nsedem, the Director of Sports, Coach Aneli Dixon, the top hierarchy of mobile producing Nigeria, operators of the NNPC, MPN joint venture, and sponsors of the championship, as well as the Director of the State Secondary Education Board and the Commissioner for Education, Mr. Anyeka Akbar. And on the national and foreign scenes, President Muhammadu Buhari has charged Nigerians in the diaspora to be proactive in raising Nigeria's international business profile. And federal government sets up committee to probe arms procurement. Also, North and South Korea find a common ground to end hostilities. This and more in our national foreign news package by Samuel.
Muhammadu Buhari's directive for immediate probing of hardware and munitions in the armed forces between 2007 to 2015. The National Security Advisor has set up a committee with the purpose of ratifying all armed deals. The committee, which is headed by retired Air Vice Marshal J.O. Ode, comprises 12 other members, including Brigadier General Y.I. Shalangwa as secretary. This is coming on the background of the apparent deficit in military platforms, which has dwindled military troops' morale, especially in the ongoing counter-insurgency operations in the northeast. The committee is expected to specifically investigate allegations of non-adherence to correct equipment procurement and the exclusion of relevant logistics branches from arms procurement under past administrations. This year's Nigeria Diaspora Day Conference has ended with a call on Nigerians in the diaspora to see themselves as agents of change and development. The conference, which had as its theme Diaspora and Nigeria Change Agenda, was officially declared open by President Muhammadu Buhari. President Buhari charged diasporans to sustain Nigeria's technological investment while exploiting the possibilities of their return to the country. The President, who was represented by the Vice President, Professor Yemi Osibanjo, advised them to get involved in the drive to woo foreign investors to the country. The conference, which is to examine areas of health, education, youth empowerment, and sports development, also features a tour of stands and exhibitions by the Vice President. North and South Korea have resolved threats of imminent military confrontation after marathon talks between high-level officials. Accusations of landmines, blast, loudspeakers, blaring propaganda, exchange of artillery fire, and threats of more hostilities had put both countries on edge along the demilitarized zone. with North Korean Pyongyang's regret over the serious injuries suffered by 2 South Korean soldiers in landmine blast, and Seoul's acceptance to switch off the loudspeakers propaganda broadcast over the border, there is an assurance that peace has returned to both countries. After years of prohibition, an agreement on delivery of the S-300 long-range surface-to-air missile systems has been reached in Moscow and Tehran. Russia's foreign minister says that the embargo was no longer necessary due to the progress in nuclear talks reached in Lausanne. A statement by a top Iranian government official affirms that both countries have met the terms of the deal and his country was ready to keep to them. Taiz has been declared a disaster area by Yemenis exiled government, and the international community as well as the United Nations Security Council has been called to intervene to end ongoing hostilities. The city, which is Yemen's third largest, has been ravaged by fighting between Houthis rebel and government forces since April. Coalition raids in the last 1 week has seen more than 100 deaths, while Monday's killing of 15 civilians in rockets fired by Houthis rebels has been seriously frowned at. The United Nations has so far been working to broker a political compromise to end this war, which has so far killed more than 4,000 people.
We'd like to let you know that you can also watch AKBC TV News online by logging on to akbconline.org or follow us on Twitter at AKBC45 or you're on Facebook at AKBC Channel 45. Before we go, we take another look at the top stories of the bulletin. The State Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Welfare has so far taken the campaign against child abuse and trafficking to 8 federal constituencies in the state. The campaign is led by the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Welfare, Dr. Gloria Edet. We also told you that the Women Rally of the Mount Zion Lighthouse Full Gospel Church Rio has been rounded off. We have more stories on this channel at 8, and we look forward to your company. Here is wishing you a very fine day. Thank you for watching.
Best of entertainment, incisive news, captivating and illuminating programs. The latest in politics, in-depth analysis of events, sports, and much more. Keep watching AKBC Channel 45.
The food you love to love.